Well, thanks so much for joining us on News at 10. My name is Bright Nanamfo. From now till 10:30, we'll tell you what's happening in Ghana and across the borders of the country. Now, let's check some news highlights first. The Chief Justice nominee, Justice Sophia Kufu, has assured Ghanaians of quality justice delivery in the country. She says that is her vision, and if given the nod by Parliament, will preside over quality to ensure no one accuses the judiciary on grounds of poor quality. He said this when she appeared before the Appointment Committee of Parliament to be vetted. 4.5 hours, the Lady Chief Justice nominee was vetted by the Parliament's Appointment Committee. We'll tell you more about that and the fallout from the vetting process in Parliament this morning. The NPP says the party leadership did not do enough to resolve issues that triggered disturbances in the Savlugu-Nantong district or municipality by the party youth. Deputy General Secretary Nanobri Buahin, however, says leadership is working to resolve all outstanding issues to avert recurrence of such incidents. The Greater Accra branch of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association has asked government to pay their Intermarket premium. Addressing a news conference in Accra, the association says it is worried the delay is creating simmering tension among members. So, Intermarket premium still an issue to grapple with by Labour there. And for those of us who are watching us from outside Accra, you're welcome to News at 10, which is live also on 3FM 92.7. Let's start with a big one. And let's start from here. The Greater Accra branch of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association has asked government to pay their Intermarket premium. Addressing a news conference in Accra, the association says it is worried the delay is creating simmering tension among members.
Clockstack requested the previous government to pay the Intermarket premium on the single spine pay policy. In June 2016, government through the Fairways and Salaries Commission said Clockstack does not deserve the amount. But early part of this year, leadership of Clockstack presented its proposal to government to pay the amount. Government has agreed to pay the amount, but there is a claim that the Chief Director of the Ministry of Finance is yet to allow the payment to be done. Already, Eastern Region branch of Clockstack has charged its national leadership to facilitate the payment. Currently, the Greater Accra branch has joined the fight, requesting government to pay immediately.
We wish to state that the payment of interim premium to our members has already been negotiated for and agreed on. Yes, that's right. The Greater Accra Regional Executives wish to state that if by 4th July 2017 the interim premium has not been paid, then the National Secretariat should call a nationwide strike.
The association is of the view prompt payment would reduce the growing tension among members. Meanwhile, the national leadership has assured to convene an emergency meeting with government on the matter.
Let's speak to Clockstack. Edmond Akwe speaks for the association, Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana. He's with me here in the studio. Good evening. Grateful for your time. So the Intermarket premium is still an issue to grapple with after several years of the implementing the this particular salary scheme. What exactly about it that keeps Labour always at loggerheads with its employee?
Thank you. Good evening, and good evening to your cherished viewers. It's amazing, the issue of the interim premium.
Right.
This is pertaining to the staff within the local and civil and local government services. The issue over here has to do with implementation. And since the implementation of the single spine, which brought about the interim premium, public sector workers, some public sector workers have received their premium, interim premium, in fact. Some call it the critical support staff, some call it the retention premium. But staffs within the civil and local government services have not received their interim premium since the implementation of the single spine some 5-6 years ago. And this is worrying to our members. If you recall, somewhere in August last year, there was an MOU that was signed that after we had gone on a long strike. MOU was signed between the Ministry of Employment, in fact, between government and the association, that come 1st January 2017, the interim premium was going to be paid to staff.
And this has not been fulfilled?
No. This is a new government. We've engaged them several occasions, and yet we are still on the edge of seeing the implementation of the interim premium for staff.
But this isn't an issue that has to do with one government or the other. It's been agreed on. It's captured in your conditions of service. So whichever system is in place, this has to be paid. So what causes delay, if you have any answer to that?
I believe I don't have answer to that. It has to be with the government. We're wondering the reason why we, as staff within the Civil and Local Government Staff Association or services, we are the government machinery, yet when it comes to conditions of service, we are left behind. And that is what we are witnessing. From government to government, we are always left behind. And that is worrying. Our members are on the ground. They are not happy at all with this particular situation, because what they know is that the MOU must be binding on any government that comes. So what they want, they've given too much ample time from January till now. They believe that it's too much of an ample time. And this time around, they are agitating. They are on us, the executives, telling us to go ahead, give government pressure. Otherwise, they themselves are going to take the bull by the horn.
What is the response from your employers about this?
Well, in this new government, the MOU brought about, was signed because we went on strike, so that was the previous government. We've engaged the new government, which is the MPP government or the current government, and what they are telling us is that they recognize the MOU and that they were going to pay bulk to us. And we said, no, bulk payments means you are, not being fair to us. So we want the monthly payment, just like you did for the other public sector workers. And we have even made a number of trade-offs. Okay, we are saying, forget about arrears, just start the implementation for us. Yet, we are yet to see daylight.
When was it supposed to have started, if there was an agreement that start the implementation, forget the arrears? When should it have started?
1st January 2017,
it should have started.
In the MOU.
So, and yet 6 months down the line, you haven't gotten
anything. Not at all.
Then, CLOCSAG will move into action by doing what?
What is happening as I talk to you now, the Greater Accra, has released a press statement, and that is what they've said, calling on National Secretariat to do something about it immediately. I think yesterday or yesterday's back, Eastern Region made a press statement. It means the grounds are boiling. Now, come Tuesday, 27th of this month, we are calling National Executive Council meeting. And this meeting is going to decide the way forward right from there. The people give the mandate to the National Executive Council, or otherwise the members give mandate to the National Executive Council, and the National Executive Council has the right to declare any other action that is necessary to push down.
And that action would be what? A strike action?
Well, when we get there, we will know. I believe Greater Accra said that there should be a strike action. That is their opinion. We are going to do whatever we have to do to make sure that the implementation of the interim premium is given to the civil and local government workers, members.
This government is just about 6 months old into office, and issues of this nature would need some time to get it fixed. Is 6 months enough for you people to be on the neck of government to fix this?
We believe it's enough because they've already started working. And governance is a continuous assessment process, if we should believe that, and we know that. Do you understand? So 6 months, I believe we've given too much of even a time. We've given too much time. Within the first 2 months, 3 months, they should have started paying. Yet we are in 6 months. How long should we wait? Don't forget we've been waiting for the past 6 years.
Government has a deadline?
Yes, we're calling NEC come Tuesday, 27th, and whatever decision NEC takes will be carried across to government.
Next week, Tuesday.
To our members, yes.
Next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
Edmund, grateful.
Thank you.
For your time tonight.
Thank you.
Edmund Akwe speaks for the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana. Clocks are talking to me there. It's a development story. We'll tell you more about that. But let's take a break after the big one. When we come back, there is more. Welcome back to News at 10. The Institute of Chartered Accountants has charged the Auditor General to ensure that interest is paid and penalties imposed on those found to have misappropriated funds. Reacting to the Supreme Court ruling in Accra, it asked the Auditor General to begin the recovery of such funds from 1992.
Article 187, Clause 7 of the 1992 Constitution empowers the Auditor General to surcharge and collect misappropriated funds from those cited in its reports. However, since 1992, the Auditor General has not been able to fulfill this constitutional requirement. The Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, ICAG, wants the Auditor General to immediately begin receiving misappropriated funds cited in its report from 1992.
Those who are stolen about 20 years ago, if you ask them to pay that money, it may not be that much. But there's a way of, when money over a period of time, we know how we can also do it so that we restate the value.
Meanwhile, the president of the Institute, Christian Soti, has been appointed as the new president of the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa. He is to serve for 2 years.
This association has been very active. Going forward, we are looking at how we can come together and harmonize our certification, both professional and the technician level.
He pledged to maintain high ethical standards among the accountancy profession in the West African sub-region.
In other news tonight, the Ghana National Service Scheme will deploy 2,000 personnel to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as trainers or trainees to the agricultural model. The personnel, after the training, will be employed by the scheme to train personnel who will be deployed under the agriculture model.
The 2,000 personnel will be trained by extension officers at the Ministry of Agriculture at the ministry to work on farms belonging to the Ghana National Service Scheme. Some maize and livestock farms are currently being run under the scheme's agricultural model. The scheme has put measures in place to extend its farms to 15 across the country this year, with the subsequent expansion to a farm each in every district of the country. This initiative would go a long way to reduce the growing number of unemployed youth as they engage in farming.
Each district is going to receive 10 service personnel to support the various MMDAs and the agric directors in all the districts to help make this planting for food and jobs a success.
The scheme also plans to partner with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to train personnel to give them skills to engage in future agriculture. Meanwhile, the service has put on hold the Voluntary National Service Scheme, which allows personnel to reapply for another posting after they complete their mandatory service.
The scheme used to have the voluntary scheme, where you are given opportunity to be re-engaged, to do at least a year or two voluntary service. But because of budgetary constraint, we've not been able to sustain this laudable initiative.
The Ministry of Finance says it has concluded compiling lists for prosecution of all clearing agents who have defrauded in the payment of taxes. The ministry again indicated that officers who participated in duping the state through the clearing agents would be sanctioned.
Commended government for providing tax exemptions and was confident it could raise enough revenue, but was worried that some of the exemptions, such as the replacing of the 17.5% on VAT with 3%, would affect government revenue. He recalled that between 2002 to 2011, government lost $14.39 billion in extractive industry alone. Alina Chia asked government to block all revenue leakages and insist on checking tax clearance certificates before goods are cleared.
A lot of people who are not straight with their taxes and their tax files are not clean. They don't import in their names. They will import in other names and clear it and take their goods away and give them a commission or whatever. We need a lot of audit in that sector.
Director of Revenue at the Policy Division of the Ministry of Finance, Anthony Jajra, assured to retrieve monies from clearing agents who have duped the state.
So we are going to collect all those revenues, top up, we are going for top up. And those we can prosecute them, especially clearing agents. Any clearing agent who was beating the system and you are laughing around, we will go after them. We must. Because the system is there. We can see you getting low values for your particular input.
Other speakers charged the Ministry of Finance to monitor operations of the Ghana Revenue Authority to achieve its targets.
The fire service is considering public-private partnership in providing fire alarms and extinguishers for all homes across the country, and this is to reduce domestic fires. Deputy Chief Fire Officer Reverend Edward Ashong, who was interacting with the Minister of the Interior, Ambrose Derry, said there is a need to increase fire safety in homes.
The Ghana National Fire Service has recorded an 85.5% reduction in all fires in the first quarter of 2017. However, 522 domestic fires have been recorded within the same period. This situation has been described as worrying. In a bid to reduce this worrying trend, management of the Ghana National Fire Service is considering a public-private partnership to provide fire alarms to all homes across the country.
Management is considering entering into a public-private partnership with Tiberius Company, a private entity, to provide fire alarm systems like smoke and heat detectors, as well as fire extinguishers for all homes across the country.
Deputy Chief Fire Officer Edward Ashon urged government to consider providing accommodation for personnel. During his first official visit to the service, Interior Minister Ambrose Derry promised government will provide the Ghana National Fire Service with adequate resources to combat fires.
Government will do all it can in helping to provide these required facilities. However, we would depend on you as a service to do a critical review of the types of equipment and logistics that are required to fight various fires that we encounter in this country.
He urged the fire service to increase interaction with Ghanaians on their operations in order to change the negative public perception.
While looking for your improved conditions, we must also constantly address the public perception.
And that's how we're wrapping up the show tonight on TV3. We're grateful that you stay there for the show. Of course, the team is back same time tomorrow, but there is more on this network. Stay with us from the team and myself. Have a great weekend. Stay right here on TV3. Good night.